Hey guys, welcome back to some more F1 2018 and part 3 of our Mercedes career mode, and in today's episode we are going to be taking part in the Chinese Grand Prix. As always, I have completed the free practice sessions, and in final practice we were second quicker than anybody else. We really hooked up the qualifying practice program, which was really good, and maybe it's telling me that we should be looking at maybe moving up the difficulty next episode. We'll see how the qualifying and the race goes, but we have selected our rival as well, as Kimi Räikkönen. Obviously we've had quite a few on-track battles with Räikkönen so far this season, so I think that'll be a good one to have alongside our battle with Hamilton. Now, R&D. Unfortunately, two of the R&D developments failed, so the engine one and the aerodynamics one. So we're gonna just basically go in and rebuy those. So $250 this time. Obviously, it's half the price to fix it basically. So we'll do that again for the engine one. We've also managed to get a discount because if you see, the morale modifier upgrade prices reduced by 12%, which is great, and that's because of our sort of voice in the press about how good the engine is and stuff like that. We may well have, well, we've got 1,600 resource points left, so I think what I might do is actually increase the durability of one of these engine parts. I guess energy store is probably a good one to have going, and we might as well push on to this next chassis upgrade, and this will really give us a strong chassis going into the next few Grand Prix. So I think that's what we'll do. We've got 133 left, so we'll reassess that again once we've got these upgrades in and delivered, which will be absolutely fantastic. So without further ado, I'll hand over to future Joe, who is going to be hopefully in Q3, and he'll take you through his hot lap. Well, you join me at the end of Q2 in a massive shock. Sebastian Vettel is out in 11th place. Fernando Alonso also out for the first time this year, out-qualified by Stoffel. Lewis Hamilton also pretty close to going out as well. They went on the soft tyres, and I don't know if you can see in the background, but it was actually raining in this session. So I got my lap in early, me, Max, and I think Hulkenberg as well went out very early, got our laps in, and that's why we're so far ahead of everyone, because the track was just getting wetter and wetter, and their first lap stood in the end, and Vettel was unlucky that his first lap wasn't good enough to get through. But yeah, a bit of a shock to say the least in Q2, but we'll head into Q3 now, and hopefully we can take that form, and you know, if Vettel's had the first two pole positions of the year, it's going to be somebody else. Can it be us, or will it be Lewis? Let's find out.
Engine fire, we're set.
Well guys, you join me as I'm just about to start my first hot lap, and the big news is it is raining and it is slippy out here. So the first few drivers to set a lap are surely going to be the ones that get the best times and the best chance of getting pole position, because this track is just getting slippier and slippier, just like in Q2. It's still just about dry enough for dry tyres, but you can really feel the car slipping about, and I'm sure that it's going to be very, very close, but first man over the line is going to get the best time, and Hamilton got out of his garage before us, and this is usually flat, this corner, but in the wet we are struggling to take those sort of corners flat out, and we are just sort of walking on eggshells around the lap. Hamilton just ahead of us on the track. It'll be interesting to see what our sector times are, but we aren't setting any purples, so I'm assuming that we're not as quick as Hamilton, which would make sense because he's first out there. He's had a slightly drier track than us to operate on. He's currently going into the final corner. So what's it going to be? Surely this is going to be what decides pole position unless the rain stops. That is the other wild card in this. So Hamilton comes through now. He sets a 1:39.2. Surely we're going to do better than that. We do, a 37.3. Wow. I'm assuming Hamilton must have made some sort of mistake in the final sector, because he surely wasn't going that slow. But we have took provisional pole for now, and as I said before, the rain is coming down. This track is only going to get slower. It's already 3 seconds slower than our Q2 time, so certainly it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Well, we didn't make it round in time to start another hot lap, but we do finish second in the end. Verstappen was the one to steal our pole position in the end. He was the only one that did a second run, which was really weird, but you know, that's the way it goes. People thought it was too wet out there. It wasn't. Verstappen got more time out of it. But second place for the start of the Chinese Grand Prix. I think Verstappen might well be on the soft tyres, so that's going to be interesting for tomorrow's race. But second place, I think we can be really happy with that.
Ever since the Sauber of Felipe Massa passed Jenson Button into Turn 1 at the very first Chinese Grand Prix in 2004, Shanghai has consistently provided close racing and extraordinary memories. It's where Lewis Hamilton effectively lost the title in his rookie year, and it's where Nico Rosberg claimed Mercedes' first win of the modern era in 2012. The ever-tightening turns 1 and 2 will prove tricky in the slippery conditions here at Shanghai, and anyone that slides wide will lose a lot of time getting back on track. Turn 14 should still be the best place for overtaking, but we'll have to see some improvement in the weather before the drivers can take advantage of that DRS assistance. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now, I want to ask you about Kimi Raikkonen. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position, and Hansen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Hamilton, Nico Hülkenberg, and Sainz, Grosjean, Magnussen, Perez and Sebastian Vettel. Gasly, Van Dorn, Kimi Raikkonen. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Alonso, Ocon, Leclerc, Lance Stroll and Brendan Hartley. Sirotkin and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right guys, here we are down on the track. Very interesting intro, obviously, that we're talking about Kimi there. But it is a wet weather race and we're on dry tyres. So I'm hoping we can switch it and we can't. That is so annoying. I guess we just have to see how it goes. There's not much we can do. I think add a little bit more fuel into the car. Worked quite well last time, didn't it? And it allowed us to push right to the end. So I think that is exactly what we shall do. Thank you for all the support on the series so far. Keep it coming. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe for regular F1 content. That was a decent getaway.
Okay, how was the pull away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
But certainly interesting that Kimi is down the grid because of a grid penalty. And Vettel also down in 10th, so this is a huge opportunity for us at Mercedes to hold on. Go on, Verstappen, go through. That's it, there we go. But yeah, certainly a huge opportunity for us today to go and get some points in the Constructors' Championship, and certainly, Sebastian Vettel's been disqualified. So is Perez. I don't quite know what's happened there. So is Leclerc. Ocon. What's happened? Hold on. Let's see. So there's Vettel, I think. How weird. I really don't know what's happened there. I think that was Raikkonen, by the way, that we were looking at before, but plenty of cars have been disqualified from the formation lap. Good to know that's not just us, like we did in the last race, but no, hopefully you guys are good and are enjoying the series. I'm really enjoying the game so far. You know, I've played 3 races in 24 hours. That is how excited. We've been removed from it now, right? Let's skip the formation lap and just get into the race, shall we? Hopefully yeah, it is. So here we go. Lights out, away we go. Lots of wheel spin at the start. It is certainly wet out here. Ricciardo off to a good start as well, and we are getting swamped into the first turn. We're just going to have to take it nice and easy. Hamilton down the inside of Nico Hülkenberg. Just don't want to make contact again. We're being very cautious simply because I don't want to lose a front wing. Especially when it's such a big opportunity today. We got traction there. Hülkenberg really slow through there, but it's a Red Bull 1-2 as we come through the first sector. Verstappen leading with Ricciardo in second. We're currently in third, but it is certainly a wet track. I wonder whether it would be worth the risk to come into the pits and change to the intermediate tyres. It certainly is wet. I don't think it's quite wet enough for Inters just yet. But, well, once we're around here, we'll ask Jeff what he thinks.
We're looking at another 5, maybe 10 minutes of this rain. Not sure whether dries or Inters are faster. We're right on the crossover.
Oh, right on the crossover, apparently. It's a massive decision. Because I think we've got the pace to get these two right now. You know, which would be massive, and it certainly feels drier this part of the track Ricciardo having a little look at his teammate here. We're just sort of staying back, observing. Hulkenberg has got Hamilton dealt with. Neither of them two pit, so I think we stay out for now. We've got a really good run on Daniel Ricciardo here. Oh my word, he's going to push us onto the grass. He goes down the inside. We're on the wetter outside line here, which will turn into the inside. Oh, a little snap of oversteer. And just let him go. Well, that was intense racing. I thought he was going to push us onto the grass there. Yeah. We were right in his gearbox, and that was dangerous. And we got a warning for it. Which was interesting. Certainly an exciting start to this Grand Prix. I think moving the engine mix down is a good idea. Don't think we necessarily need it on the fastest mode at this stage of the Grand Prix. I feel like we are quicker. We just need to work our way past these two.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
So we do have a new strategy option. Wants to change to the softs already. I think that's a little bit premature and pointless, to be honest. So let's just stick with what we've got. I'm going to try and make a move here. We're right in the slipstream. This should be a good opportunity, but Ricciardo and Verstappen must be using everything at their disposal. We're going to have a little look at Ricciardo. He's left the door open, and we're through. We are through on Daniel Ricciardo. And now Verstappen is there. And here we go again. We're going to move it up into Rich. And we're having a look down the inside into turn 1. And we are into the lead of the Grand Prix for now. Very, very close there with Verstappen, but we are through. And now we can utilise our pace. Hamilton's still stuck behind Nico Hulkenberg. Surely this lap has to be the one for him to get past, and already we're setting purple sectors. We are flying at the moment. And what an opportunity this is. With Raikkonen and Vettel down the order, we can get possibly even into the lead of the Drivers' Championship if we outscore Hamilton by 10 points. And that will be a reality. Hamilton currently in 5th place.
Back to dry shortly.
Right, we're going to come into the pits, guys. So this is the key moment in the race. We've massively locked up. We managed to just about keep it out the wall, but that was massively close. Got the pit limiter on this time. And we're ready to come into the pits. And we're away 2.8 seconds. We come out ahead of Max Verstappen, and that is an important move in this Grand Prix. We move on to the soft tyres. Kevin Magnussen is out of the race.
They're retiring the car. Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Wow, Hulkenberg just went round our outside, and he's already pit. Hulkenberg was behind us before, or unless him and Hamilton had some sort of kerfuffle, which I don't think they did. Or possibly they did. Maybe that's why Hulkenberg's so far down the order, but we're through anyway. And now we're on to the soft tyres. And we should be on these for the rest of the race, so it's all about looking after these tyres, making sure the car's alright. And just managing now. And we could be on for our first victory of the season, which would be absolutely fantastic around here in these conditions. That's important. We've just come past Ricciardo, who's just got out of the pit lane, so he has overcut Verstappen. but we managed to just about get through in the end. So very, very important that we got past Nico Hülkenberg on the last lap, because that allowed us a little bit of clean air. And now Ricciardo getting his tyres up to temperature.
We're leading our teammate by 36.0 seconds. The gap
should be fine. Why is Hamilton so far down? I'm assuming him and Hülkenberg must have had some sort of incident at some point, which is why they're both down the order. And Hülkenberg mustn't have pit yet, or maybe he's just pit now. But yeah, a shame, and a huge opportunity, as I said, for us to really take charge of this championship battle early on. Obviously still a long way to go though, and we've got to make sure we get past this Williams, which will probably be quite slippy in a straight line, so gotta be careful. And he really is holding us up, but we're through now. We've got the DRS to pull away, so nice bit of clean air. But here comes the Williams. Sorokin down our inside. We go to his inside, and it's all a little bit risky, but we're through. But he has allowed Ricciardo to catch up, so here we go. Oh, a bit of a corner cut there, and in a little bit of trouble. Here comes Ricciardo. And Ricciardo into the lead of the Grand Prix now, so thanks to Sorokin, we're now down into second place, or provisional second I should say. Somebody out ahead still hasn't pit. Try and get back past Ricciardo as soon as we can. This has turned into an exciting Grand Prix, and it's all been sort of shaken up by this weather.
Engines showing small signs of wear. Power output will be down.
Well, that's not a good message to get 3 races into the season that we're getting wear on the engine, but I guess that's the reality in F1 now. You only have 2 parts to some components of the engine, but you know, we're going to have to take some grid penalties at some point, and you know, everybody has to, so guess that's the reality of it. We have lost a little bit of time to Ricciardo. Meanwhile, we should have the DRS here. He won't, of course, so we should be able to really catch up. Well, Kimi Raikkonen's leading at the moment. Now, I don't know what tyres he's on, and obviously he's started well down the order, and I don't know whether, because it rained a little bit, whether he has to use both tyres. I'm not sure on the rule on that. Vettel is also in the race. He's just behind Verstappen, so the Ferrari's very much back in the picture now. Well, it is a completely dry circuit. We are trying our best to get past Daniel Ricciardo, but the dirty air is just not allowing us to get close enough out of the corners. And especially around this section here where, you know, we should be flat out, but the dirty air is meaning that we're just going out a little bit wide. I mean, we have to brake more for this corner, and then it's just a sort of knock-on effect. We should be able to get him on this next straight, I think, if we build up enough speed from this corner. Just wish I could do that while I was turning the corner. We're going to go into hot lap mode. DRS. We should be able to catch up. Going to go on to none. Try and harvest some. We're having a little lock up there. Here we go. We're right in his slipstream. DRS enabled once again. We set the fastest lap of the race.
33.8 seconds.
Gonna have a little look. Ooh, nearly lost our front wing there. Now, right behind. Again, just in the traction zones, we're losing out. Okay, this is a huge chance now. We're right in his slipstream. This should be the moment that we take Daniel Ricciardo for what I think is the net lead of the Grand Prix. We've got the DRS wide open. And we managed to make the move look fairly easy in the end there. But we're up into second place and we're catching up to our rival Kimi Räikkönen, who may not be stopping. We don't know yet, but we set another fastest lap of the race. We are surely going to catch up to Kimi very, very shortly. He's on the soft tyres as well as us, so we're taking ours 11 laps, I think. So he can only be lasting another couple of laps, you would think. So here we go, we have a chance over Kimi Räikkönen now. DRS is open. Able to have a go down his inside. And we were very, very, very good on the brakes there. And we're through into the lead of the Grand Prix. Oh. Kimi Räikkönen does indeed go into the pits. So, 4 laps, and we could be a Grand Prix winner. Well, rather frustratingly, guys, my hard drive filled on the final lap of the race. I just started commentating on it, but the basic message is that we controlled the race after the overtake on Kimi Räikkönen, and we have took our first Grand Prix victory. I couldn't be happier. I'm just really, really annoyed you guys didn't get to see us cross the checkered line, or checkered flag, I mean. And we were celebrating like crazy on the podium, and then I seen on my computer pop up insufficient space. That is YouTuber tip number 1. Make sure you've got enough space to record the video. But, yeah, there you go. We win the race. Ricciardo finished second with Vettel in third. Verstappen only 4th in the end, after starting on pole position. Sainz in an incredible 5th place, really, considering that Räikkönen was just behind him in 6th. Perez 7th, Grosjean 8th, Gasly 9th, and Leclerc finishes in the top 10. Lewis Hamilton, meanwhile, finishes outside of the points, the championship leader, down in 18th place. Very, very interesting. I really don't know what happened to him in the race, but finishing a minute and 10 behind ourselves in the end there. Alonso and Magnussen are the 2 DNFs of the race. Championship standings, we have took over the lead of the drivers' standings, 2 points ahead of Sebastian Vettel and 16 points ahead of 5th place Lewis Hamilton, who, coming into this weekend, was the championship leader, and he's dropped all the way to 5th. Constructors, Mercedes have caught up to Ferrari. We're only 5 points behind now. Red Bull Racing only 30 points behind Ferrari as well after a strong showing this weekend. So, we have won the Chinese Grand Prix. Really sorry that we ran out of memory, but these things do happen. You didn't really miss much. You've seen all the action in the race. But here we go.
Performance out there. You must be really happy. You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. You're leading the championship. Are you happy to be there or feeling the pressure? You took the top points today. Was it a comfortable win? Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better than last weekend, didn't they?
don't understand how we could have done that much better than last weekend. We finished on the podium. So yeah, definitely some tweaking needed with the media handling and just the questions that they ask, because some of them aren't quite true, it has to be said. But no, very, very good indeed, and certainly a good weekend for our rivalries as well. We didn't quite get the fastest lap. Kimi Räikkönen managing to nick that from us at the end, but we are leading both rivalries now. 16-15 over Lewis, 6-4 over Räikkönen. That is going to be interesting as we go throughout the career mode. Now we've got some more resource points there, so we've now got 500 resource points, which is great, and we've already completed our...
I don't think we can have any complaints with our performance.
We've already completed our next objective as well. Got some classic races to come.
You'll be able to choose whether or not to participate before the end of this weekend.
Which is great, but no, overall, really, really happy with how the weekend's gone. I don't know whether we can actually get another, maybe not, that's gone up to 600 now. That's 600 as well. I wonder if we can maybe buy this. Yes, we can. So we can get the instant quality control thing. So that should help it go through by the next Grand Prix in Azerbaijan. But if you have enjoyed this episode, then make sure you do leave a like down below. It really does help me out. It means a lot to me as well. Subscribe if you would like to see more, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.